Welcome everyone to the Inland Sports Show. Before we start the show, make sure you like this video and you've subscribed to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. And if you're a local business or organization and you'd like to promote yourself on this show, just send us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. The show starts right now. Garcia's left-footed. And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. A lot of high school football coming your way. A little bit later in the show, we will hear from the Arroyo Valley Hawks, their head football coach, TJ Stanford, Billy Cardosi at Kaiser. We've got all of our weekly awards. We'll talk some softball as well with Hillcrest, two of their star players committing to big-time Division I college softball programs. But we're going to lead off the show as we check in with the Murrieta Valley Nighthawks football team. We've got an interview with Bear Bachmeier coming up. But real quick, as you talk about Murrieta Valley, you can see the Nighthawks climbing up to number 2 in the latest Boost Top 25 poll, trailing only Centennial. Murrieta Valley this week, they will play Chaparral, the number 5 team, but a tough stretch to end the season. Murrieta Valley's got Centennial the following week, and they'll wrap up the season with Vista Murrieta. So big stretch coming up for the Nighthawks. Again, number 2 in the Boost Top 25. Orange Vista making moves. They climb up to number 6. Keep an eye also on San Jacinto. They got a big game against Liberty coming up, so I'm trying to pick out some teams that are climbing the rankings, and also some big games coming up that will help us decide the Boost Top 25. No more hypotheticals. Let them decide on the field, and the rankings will take care of themselves. Kaiser, Paloma Valley, they're back in the rankings. Murrieta Mesa checks in at 21. Jurupa Hills at 22. Vista Del Lago still hanging on after losing to Paloma Valley in the final seconds. They come in at number 25. So that's just a quick snapshot of the Boost Top 25 after week number 7. We mentioned some of those big games coming up. Huge games, including, we mentioned Murrieta Valley and Chaparral. Also in the Big West, Vista Murrieta versus Centennial. Feels like an old Inland Division championship game to me. Norco will take on Roosevelt as Chuck Chastain will go up against his former team at Norco. And speaking of former teams, Bert Esposito now at Santiago will go up against his former team, the Temecula Valley Golden Bears. All of that in the Big West Conference. Eisenhower will take on Jurupa Hills as the 3-game sprint in the Sunkist League begins. Ike and Jurupa Hills, the Eagles obviously trying to bounce back after their first loss of the year. We got Citrus Valley versus Cajon. Basically, when it all boils down to, the Blackhawks and the Cowboys, this is your CBL championship game, essentially. And big game in the River Valley League. Patriot is 2-0. They're playing Hillcrest. If Patriot can beat Hillcrest and move to 3-0, that would set up a massive showdown against Norte Vista the following week in the RVL. So those are some of the top games in week number 8 in our Inland Sports Show coverage area. Obviously, one of those big games, Murrieta Valley taking on Chaparral. The Nighthawks trying to get a win, continue that collision course with Centennial in week number 9. And, of course, they got Vista Murrieta in week 10. A tough stretch, but they got some great players, and they're led by their quarterback, Bear Bachmeier, started last year as a sophomore, even better as a junior. And this Murrieta Valley team, they're really good right now, but they've got a ton of juniors and a ton of sophomores playing this year, so they might be even better next year. But for all intents and purposes, when we look right now, and the Nighthawks have a real chance to make some hay this year and do some damage in the CIF playoffs, as you're about to hear from Bear Bachmeier, getting to the playoffs and maybe winning one game is not enough. These guys want to go deep into the playoffs, and they feel like they've got the team to do it. Here's our interview with Murrieta Valley quarterback Bear Bachmeier.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. He is the quarterback of your Murrieta Valley Nighthawks. It is Bear Bachmeier. And Bear, man, so far so good this year. I know you got a big game coming up against Chaparral, but Nighthawks have been playing some good football. What have you liked about the way the offense has been performing through the first 7 games of this season so far?
Yeah, I definitely like just how we're bonding right now. Took a tough loss week 1, but we're peaking at a great time. And so, yeah, I'm really excited.
You know, and I look at your offense, Bear. I think there was like 7 different receivers that had over 100 receiving yards, and I think there were 7 different guys who have caught a touchdown pass from you. What's it like running that offense knowing you've got playmakers all around the field? You just got to, find a way to get the ball in their hands and let them do what they do.
Yeah, just definitely just being a distributor. Getting the guys who make plays, getting the ball in their hands. We have a great offensive scheme, a great offensive line, and we just got guys that can go.
And 2, I should have mentioned too, you got 2 stud running backs. I mean, 2 guys who can, rip off a long touchdown run at any point too. So do you feel like whether it's, heavy on the run or heavy on the pass, either way, let's pick your poison. You guys can do it both.
Yeah, pick your poison. I mean, pretty balanced. We got some guys on the perimeter, and we got some great guys up front, and 2 great running backs that can go, and that's what makes our offense so special.
Bear, I've asked you this before, but the significance of wearing number 47. I know Coach Wilson is a pretty traditional guy. He's a traditional coach. He wants his linebackers to be in the 50s, his receivers to be in the 80s, and then you throw a wrench into it, and you're 47 playing quarterback. But you were a linebacker, right, who turned into or decided to go in the quarterback route. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, sir. When I started playing when I was 5, and that's the number my dad picked for me when I played running back and middle linebacker when I first started playing football. And when I made the transition to quarterback, I just kept the number. And when I crossed the line of scrimmage, I turned into that fullback mentality.
You don't like to slide, huh, as a quarterback?
Yeah, no sliding over here.
Bear, I know obviously recruiting is hot and heavy right now. When you go on recruiting trips, do some of these big time college programs ask you that? Like, number 47, we had to do a double take, and we're like, is that the quarterback? Is that 47 under center? Like, who is that guy?
Yeah, no, it's cool though. A lot of the coaches really like the fact that I wear number 47, so it's really cool when they compliment that.
Do you feel like you could ride this out? Like, wherever you sign with eventually, you might wear 47 in college and keep it going?
Yeah, that's the plan. They said I can, so I'm going to roll with it as long as I can.
That's so awesome. Bear, going into Chaparral this week, obviously it's an old rival from the Southwestern League days. It's a big West Conference game coming up for you guys this week. Chaparral was, runner-up in the league last year, so obviously, they're good. They've got a lot of guys back. I know they've stumbled the last couple of weeks, but I feel like in the Big West, man, every game is important. Every game is big. What do you guys have to do to stay dialed in and keep this thing going and get a win against the Pumas?
Yeah, it definitely starts at practice and in the weight room. We just got guys that want it so bad. And they're definitely, they're hungry to get a win, but we're not going to let that happen. Not in front of our fans. We're going to go out in there and give them a good fight. So,
Bear, what's kind of the big goals for this team? Because, winning league will be tough. Obviously, Centennial's out there, and that game, will be coming up soon. And, make it to the CIF playoffs. You guys can make a deep run. I feel like, probably Division II, but we don't know for sure, I guess. But what's kind of the goals you feel like for this team?
Yeah, we're just trying to get better and better every day. Obviously, we've had a streak of kind of getting knocked out the first round. So yeah, definitely making a big playoff run as well. But we're just looking at this week right now and trying to get better in practice.
Now you're in year 2 as a starting quarterback for the Nighthawks, but in all due respect to the seniors on this year's Murrieta Valley team, obviously you want to do it all this year. You want to win some championships, get to the playoffs, make a run, all those things, especially for this year's seniors. But like I was telling Coach Wilson, I'm looking at your roster. There's a lot of juniors and some sophomores playing on this team. So you guys are built to win right now, but you're also built to win next season as well. Is that pretty exciting for you that all you guys are going to have hopefully another season together come next year as well?
Oh yeah, it's definitely exciting for the years to come. But like I said, we're dialed in right now, and we're trying to make something special run this year. So.
Bear, let me go back to the recruiting process for you. Is it fun? Is it stressful? I mean, you play a game on Friday night, and then you probably have your bags packed, and you're going to some city on a Saturday to go visit somebody. Like, do you just kind of embrace the moment? Do you talk to Tiger and Hank about how they kind of maybe handled the pressure, or just the chaotic nature of balancing being a high school athlete and traveling and keeping your grades up and being ready for the next game on Friday night, and just the whole routine?
It's awesome. It's really fun. I mean, I'm fortunate to have Hank and Tiger and even my sister Ella go through the whole process. But it's definitely really fun. It's really exciting. I wouldn't change it for anything.
All right, Bear, as good as things are going right now for Murrieta Valley and yourself, what are some ways that you feel like you can be a better quarterback and maybe the offense can be even better? Do you feel like you guys are still, trending in the right direction? You haven't hit that peak yet. Yeah,
I definitely think, even some games we kind of come out slow, and that starts at practice and in walkthroughs. So I definitely just think having more intensity in practice can definitely change the start of the game. But I definitely think we're peaking at such a great time right now, and I'm really excited about that.
Do you feel like, I know it's a cliche, but practice makes perfect. If you practice with intensity and focus, that you'll see that on Thursday or Friday night whenever you guys play?
Yes, I believe that.
Bear, let's do a little name dropping. We've talked about your offense. You've got so many great receivers. You got a couple stud running backs. Let's do a little name dropping. Who are some of the guys really starring for Murrieta Valley this year?
Yeah, I mean, in the backfield, the Asa Chapman had a phenomenal year last year and has had a great year. But Dorian Hose is stepping up, getting a lot of carries. He's running people over. And then up front, you got Declan Montez, Drew Nichols transfer, Elijah. I can't pronounce his last name. But we just got a great set of guys. And on the perimeter, we got Julian Treadwell stepping up, a pretty young guy, and Cam Connor on the outside as well, making plays. So.
And Bear, we talked about the fact that you do have so many weapons to, distribute to. Like I said, there's been, I don't know how many, I think I said 7 receivers that have had at least 100 yards receiving on the season. Are you a big stat guy, or do you try to just look at the final score at the end of the night and that's the only thing that matters?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the win. Yeah, that's all.
And how about your guys? Do they ever come up to you and be like, Bear, come on, I was open, man. Hit me next time.
Yeah, I mean, you get that. I get that sometimes, but they know that the end goal is to win. And yeah.
All right, Bear, finally, I know you're part of an a cappella group at Murrieta Valley consisting of football guys. If you want to sing right now, you can do a little solo. If not, but what's kind of your musical influences?
Yeah, my brother Tiger learned to play the guitar, and that's kind of what made me want to pursue kind of music and play the guitar. And my uncle, he lives in Minnesota, and he's the one that kind of taught Tiger or influenced Tiger to kind of play. So I definitely Tiger and my uncle. And yeah, we have an a cappella club here. We call it Hawkapella for the Nighthawks. And so it's just, I mean, there's nothing better than music and playing football and school work and all that, and just going home, playing the guitar and singing. There's nothing better than that.
What are you guys as a group, Hawkapella? What are you guys working on right now? Anything?
No, actually, this year's been kind of slow. We lost some great singers last year. Rashid Zahar, he was one of the linemen last year. He had a great voice, and Tiger as well. They're kind of gone, but we're definitely I think we're gonna sing the national anthem coming up for one of our rallies. So that's kind of something that we're working on.
Is it a rebuilding season for Hawkapella?
Yeah, it's a I don't know. We lost some key players, so we gotta get back on the right track.
Oh, that's amazing. Bear, listen, I really appreciate the time. Congrats so far on the season so far, and good luck on Friday night against Chaparral. I know it's a big one coming up.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. That's Bear Bachmeier, quarterback of Murrieta Valley, here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
All right, that was Bear Bachmeier, quarterback for Murrieta Valley, and the CEO of Acapella out there at Murrieta Valley High School. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition, we're going to check in on the Arroyo Valley Hawks. Arroyo Valley has that big showdown coming up with San Gorgonio, first place in the Skyline League, on the line. We'll be right back on the Inland Sports Show. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. Number one in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken.
Coaches, here are 3 keys to building a great speed session. Check it out. Number 1, the dynamic warm-up. This should increase tissue temperature and be specific to the movement you're doing in your session. Number 2, plyometrics. For power development, this should be done right after the dynamic warm-up when athletes are still fresh and should be consistent to the movement you're doing in your session. Number 3, mix technique with application. Your speed session should be reps, 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 followed by mechanics to reinforce good technique, then back to the reps. And remember, always emphasize quality over volume, and greater distances should have lower overall volume. Boost man.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We got some big games coming up in week number 8 of the high school football season. Our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game is the Mountain Pass League battle between the Jacks, San Jacinto, and Liberty. San Jacinto has won 20 straight games in the Mountain Pass. Liberty, with its first senior class, one of the top teams already in the area. And we'll see if San Jacinto can make it 5 straight league titles if they can get past Liberty and take care of their business in the final 2 weeks of the regular season in week 9 and 10. It's our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. San Jacinto taking on Liberty, and it should be a good one. Now, another one of these big-time games, and yes, I know it's only week 8. We still have several more weeks of the regular season left, but there are some very important and meaningful games in Week 8 that will determine league titles. We just told you about the Mountain Pass, San Jacinto and Liberty. The Skyline League is another one of those. Arroyo Valley and San Gorgonio. Both teams are 2-0 in the Skyline, 6-1 overall. The winner of this game will be in the driver's seat for the Skyline League Championship. We had a chance to catch up with head coach TJ Stanford at Arroyo Valley and his captains, talking about the success they're having this year and trying to finish the job, going up against a very good and well-coached San G team this week in week number 8. Here's the Hawks.
Inland Sports.
To be honest, that this has kind of been the plan, and it's been a plan with these guys behind me. They've been the foundation. Last year we had our record wasn't what we wanted it to be, but however they bought into the program, and then it just has rolled from there. And so this year has been fun, but it's also been a grind, and we're going to continue to grind. And the guys that showed up this morning to work early in the morning on a Monday morning with no school showed up to come out here and put in the work and put in the time. And really the key is all of my players.
So, Coach, you got San Gorgonio coming up on Friday night. You guys are both 6-1 overall. You're both 2-0 in Skyline League play. What do you think the Hawks have done well through the first 7 games of the season? What are you guys strong at, would you say?
Well, I think the Hawks are tough. I think the Hawks show up to play. I think the Hawks play really good defense, and our offensive line and defensive line are two of the best in the Skyline League, I believe. But that's not taking anything away from San Gorgonio. I think they're a well-coached team. I think that they're going to be prepared. I know they're going to be prepared, and we're just working to be just as prepared as they are.
Coach, you've won 6 in a row. I know that first game against ACA was a tough one, but you've since rattled off 6 straight wins. Do you feel like the team is still trending in the positive direction? Like maybe you haven't hit that peak yet. You guys are still climbing and still getting better from week to week.
We get better every day. And so it's not a week-to-week process for us. It's an everyday process. It's a game-by-game thing, day-to-day thing, class period by class period, practice by practice. We get better every minute of every day.
Coach, introduce the guys behind you. I think those are your captains, right, this season?
Yep, these are my captains. I got Tukatao over here. I've got Joaquin here, Ronald, and Abel in the back there.
I think you got one more back there.
And Max. Sorry, I forgot Max.
Max, my guy Max back there. Coach, when you've had these guys in your program for more than 1 year, for a couple of years, what does it mean to the program to have these guys who really maybe stuck it out when you got, first named head coach, and you got guys that, like, hey, you got to buy in, you got to, help me build this culture here. What does it mean to have some guys that have stuck with it and stayed in the program for more than a season that you can build with?
Means everything to me. These guys bought in from day one. We didn't have the record we wanted last year, but anybody who came to our practices knew that we were working every day. Like I say, last year we had a 4-day weekend. Everybody showed up. This year, same thing. And just having guys who want to get better and want to work and want to be the best they can be, because they have the talent, they have the drive. I'm just proud to be a part of it.
All right, since I got Ronald right there, Ronald, man, you are just running the ball heavy right now, over 200 yards in that win against Notre Dame. Ronald, what is it about the run game that makes you guys so successful?
My O-line. I think we got the best O-line in the Sky League. They make my job really easy.
And then Joaquin, you and Abel have been a threat on the outside. What do you think about the passing game as well to kind of complement what Ronald's doing with the run attack?
I think it's really what he said, the O-line, because if the quarterback don't got time to throw, he can't throw. So I just think it's the O-line.
We got an O-lineman back here, too, if you have a question for him.
Is that Max?
Yep.
Max, the forgotten Hawk back there. Max, giving Abel, time, opening up holes for Ronald, whatever you guys need to do. Do you feel like a lot of these games are being won up front with what you guys are doing?
Well, I feel like our coaches have put us in a position to make us better every day, learn our assignments every single day, so we can just go on the field and execute and make everybody's jobs easier.
And then, another two-way player, Pep, is Tukatao over here, who really has kind of been our driving force on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and Tukatao, listen, if you play on both sides of the football, obviously Coach puts a lot of value in what you can do on the offensive line and the defensive line. Are you basically playing every snap, and do you love it?
Yeah, I do. It's just I'm doing what my coach tells me.
That's a good way to stay out of the doghouse right there. And Abel, if you can yell back there, Abel, my guy. Listen, man, you're the point guard. You're the engineer. You got to make the offense go and make things happen. So talk about how you've been able to, obviously feed Ronald back there, and he's putting up big yards on the ground, but also, finding guys like Joaquin, trying to keep it balanced and make those opposing defenses work for it, not knowing if you're going to run or throw.
Speak up.
Yeah, speak up.
Well, Coach, let me ask you about San Gorgonio coming up. Obviously, this is a huge game for you guys. I know it's only week 8. We've got 3 weeks left of the regular season, but this sure feels like a league championship game. Do you, going through this week, the motions of this week, getting ready for the game, how do you kind of get your team ready? Do you try to have them embrace this moment, like say, hey, this is what we've been playing for, this is why we've been putting all the work, we want to be in these kind of important, meaningful games? Or do you try to, maybe downplay and say, it's just another game, guys, we just got to go out there and keep doing what we do?
Well, I'll be honest, Pep, we're going to do both. We're gonna let them know that, hey, we're doing something that hasn't been done here in a long time, and the reason why we're doing it is because of the work you've put in. Now, it is another game. It's a game on our schedule, and like I said earlier, they're a well-coached team. They're going to be a well-prepared team. They have a lot of talent over there, a lot of speed, and I think Friday is going to be really, really fun. And it's only Monday, and we have a lot of work to do.
Inland Sports.
The Arroyo Valley Hawks, everybody. The complete interview is on IEMG right now. You can check that out on the IE Media Group YouTube channel. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we're going to take a break from high school football for a moment, talk high school softball with the Hillcrest Trojans, a couple of their star players, taking it to the next level with going to big-time Division I programs. We'll have that when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. Hey, what's up, guys? Look who it is. It's Coach Bass, the Boost Man here at Boost Performance Training. My name is Pep Fernandez. We've got another gridiron question for you guys out there. And Coach, we're continuing the series. We started it last time on some of the worst things parents can do to stunt the growth of the athlete in their lives. And of course, they don't want to do that. They're not doing it on purpose. We talked about the worst thing you could do on the last episode, so go check out that video. What's the next one, Coach?
Yeah, Pep, it's definitely too much expectation for other people to help their kids. Look, there are a lot of great coaches out there who can bring real value to your kids' athletic development, but you got to understand that only the student athletes can walk the path. They're the ones that have to put the work in, go to class, and perform on the field. It always kills me to see parents who don't empower their kids with the tenacity to get things done. Instead, they accept the idea that someone else can do it for them. And this is far from the truth. And it's not to say that parents shouldn't invest or rely on coaches who can help with their kids' athletic development. Parents should try their best to invest in qualities that can be measured, because this removes all ambiguity in terms of what that coach has actually done for their child, and parents can see real growth. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you check in for the next Gridiron, where we talk about what you parents can do to help with your child's athletic development.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. We got more high school football a little bit later in the show, but right now we want to talk high school softball. You might remember back in 2022, just a couple seasons ago, the Hillcrest Trojans coming home with a CIF Southern Section Division VI title. A couple of the star players in that game, well, she was a freshman at the time, Melody Acevedo, cranking a home run in the top of the 7th inning to give Hillcrest the 5-4 lead, and Mattison Beliveau, the starting pitcher, went the distance, had 11 strikeouts in the game, helping Hillcrest win the CIF Southern Section Championship Division VI, like I mentioned, and hard work pays off. A CIF Southern Section Championship, and now for Acevedo and Beliveau, they have Division I college scholarships as well. Mattison Beliveau taking her talents to the Wisconsin Badgers in the Big Ten, and Melody Acevedo going to the Washington Huskies in the Pac-12. Acevedo, though, just a junior. Beliveu's a senior, so she'll be taking her talents very, very soon after one more season at Hillcrest. We had a chance to talk to both young ladies about, doing big things at Hillcrest and now taking their talents to the next level.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. We got two big-time local softball stars who are taking their talents to the next level. And we love seeing that happen when we've got local stars who get scholarship offers and they not only go to the next level, but go to big-time Division I programs. Very exciting. We know softball is so good here in the Inland Empire, specifically here in Riverside. From Hillcrest High School, we got Mattison Beliveau and Melody Acevedo. And girls, first off, Melody, I'll start with you on the right-hand side of the screen here, wearing the Washington Huskies sweater over there. First off, congratulations, Melody. And why the Washington Huskies? What was it about the program, the school, the coaching staff? What was it about Washington that you really liked?
Honestly, I feel like it's such a cliche to say, but you really do just feel it. Like, once I went on my visit to Washington, I just felt it with, the coaches, the girls, the environment, the school. It was so beautiful in Washington also. I love the environment and all the energy that the girls and the coaches have. It's very much like a family environment that they put out there.
Are you excited to play in the Pac-12? Because that's obviously a very high level for softball.
Yeah, I am. I feel like that's always been a goal since I was younger, and to meet that goal, it feels amazing. It feels unreal.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but you're a junior this upcoming season, right? So you still have another year after this at Hillcrest.
I do, yeah.
So Melody, why commit so early? Is it you didn't want to stress about it for the next year and a half? You just want to be okay, I'm committed. I know where I'm going. Now I don't have to think about it. Now I can just enjoy Hillcrest and enjoy high school.
Yeah, I feel like the goal was to commit early. And I feel like it does take off pressure to know where my future is and where I'm going to. So it's I'm working towards something now for my year of high school left.
All right, and let me go over to Mattison. Mattison, you're going to the Wisconsin Badgers, ironically in Madison, Wisconsin. So Madison in Madison, right? So I'm sure you probably already heard that joke. But Mattison, what was it about the Wisconsin program and playing in the Big Ten? What was it that attracted you to the Badgers?
Kind of like Mello said, you kind of felt the spark there. You felt like you belonged. That's how I felt. It was very family oriented. The coaching staff there was really amazing. And their pitching coach is one of the top pitching coaches in the nation right now. He's the pitching coach for the national team. And the environment there and just the way they treated their athletes when I went and visited, it felt like I belonged. It was perfect.
Now, Mattison, you're a senior this year. So you got the spring with Hillcrest, and then it's off to Madison, Wisconsin to play for the Badgers. Is it exciting for you as well just to know, hey, this is what my future is going to look like? I know where I'm going to be for the next 4 years after you graduate from Hillcrest.
Yeah, it really takes pressure off because now I could just calm down, just play high school, play my last year of travel ball, just enjoy it with no stress.
That was my next question. It's a perfect segue. Is that you think you'll enjoy your senior season a little bit more knowing I got my scholarship, I know where I'm going, I'm very excited about it. I'm just going to have fun and enjoy this and hang out with my Hillcrest team and hopefully, make another run towards a CIF title game.
Yeah, it definitely takes off pressure and it's going to be more enjoyable to know that there's nothing to worry about and just have fun this year.
Mattison, maybe more so for you because you'll be graduating this upcoming spring. Has the Wisconsin coaches talk about how they see you fitting in, maybe even as early as a freshman? Like, hey, we want you to compete. We like you as a starter. Maybe we'll bring you out of the bullpen as a freshman. Have they kind of told you about what your role might look like going in as a freshman?
I know there's definitely going to be competition and going to compete for a spot. And they said just work hard and see how it goes.
All right, Melo, let me go back to you. Hillcrest, obviously, it's not an old school, but already establishing itself as a great softball program. What do you think this does in terms of future softball players at Hillcrest? Do you guys feel like yourself, Mattison, some other players are kind of setting the bar and kind of leaving that legacy like, hey, we're a great softball program. If you come play at Hillcrest, you'll have a chance to go to the next level and play maybe Division I softball?
Yeah, I do. I feel like us setting the standard for other girls, it gives it shows the other girls that you can be here, going to Hillcrest. It definitely gives girls more of what's it called? It just helps them.
Mm-hmm. Gives them confidence, right? Like they're going to the right place. That they're gonna win some softball games at Hillcrest and maybe compete for a CIF title. But also, I know for a lot of you players, the goal is to get that scholarship and go to the next level. For both of you, I'll start with Mattison and I'll go back to Melo on this. How exciting is that, your parents don't have to pay for college? Like, you're going to go play softball, you're going to do something you love, and there's not a big tuition bill.
It's really nice to be able to, everything they've already paid for travel ball and everything, and finally, I give back to them, you don't have to pay for my college. This is what you deserve. I worked so hard for this, and all the time they spend and the support, it pays off.
And the same thing for you, Melo, too, is, just the fact that your parents probably have invested a lot of time and a lot of money to get you to this point. Are you excited to, be able to say, hey, I got my scholarship. It was worth it. It all paid off at the end.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like definitely my parents had a big part of this. And I never thought that, I would have a scholarship, but my parents never expected anything less. And this is what they set me up for. So it was pretty cool to see it happen.
Now, listen, you both strike me as very humble, but let me ask you this. At any point, when you were younger, were you always the best player on your team when you were, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old? Were you always the best, or were you like Melo, you just said, I never thought I'd get a scholarship. At what point were you I guess I'm pretty good, and maybe I'll get a scholarship here?
I feel like I've always been, up there, with my teammates. All my teammates are amazing, My parents have always put me on great teams. But even all the way up to I could say I had a visit with Washington, but I never thought, I would have a visit with Washington until I was actually there. Everything just didn't feel real. Even now it doesn't, but to the actual moment of me committing, it was crazy.
How about you, Mattison?
I agree with Melo. You never thought that you would be where you are today. You might have been a little kid on a team and you were the best, but you never really thought oh wow, I'm actually committed to where I am. It's a very grateful experience.
All right, and for both of you ladies, we'll wrap it up like this. Going into, for Mattison, your senior season, what kind of goals do you have for this team? This Hillcrest team has had a lot of success since the two of you have been in the program. What are your goals? What would you like to see happen your senior season, Mattison?
I would just like to see our team come together and connect like we did throughout the last 2 years of me being there. I want us to come together and create that CIF run again and go all the way.
And how about you, Melo?
Yeah, I would love for us to get to the CIF championship again, and I know we could do it. We have an amazing team this year, and we have good chemistry too this year.
And a lot of talent. We got a Badger, we got a Husky, and ladies, thank you so much for joining us here on the Inland Sports Show. I really do appreciate the time. Best of luck up in, Melody, we get you in for another season after next year, but best of luck up in Seattle, in the future. And Mattison Beliveau taking her talents to Madison, Wisconsin to play for the Badgers. Congratulations, ladies, and congratulations to your families as well on these scholarships.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it. That's Mattison Beliveau and Melody Acevedo here on the Inland Sports Show, taking their talents to the D1 level for Washington and Wisconsin, respectively.
Inland Sports.
Congratulations to Maddie and Mello. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, more high school football. We will take a look at some of our Week 7 All-Stars, our Big Boost Play of the Week, and we'll hear from Kaiser head football coach Billy Cardosi next on the Inland Sports Show. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken.
Coaches, want to know the keys to off-season team speed development? Here we go. Phase 1, early acceleration. This should emphasize short sprinting distances from a variety of positions. Phase 2, near max velocity and the start of change of direction. Here you're going to focus on longer sprinting distances and start to incorporate some change of direction. Phase 3, max velocity and COD. In this phase, we'll focus on max sprinting and some consistent change of direction. Phase 4, speed and agility. This is where we put it all together, make it sports specific, and start incorporating it into every speed session. Boost man.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
Inland Sports.
The Dodgers are necessarily panicking at this point, but man, that is not how you wanted to open the playoffs, dropping an 11-2 game against the Diamondbacks in which Clayton Kershaw could not even get out of the first inning in that game 1 on Saturday. So not a good look for the Dodgers. Man, they were flexing hard on the Dallas Cowboys. It was supposed to be the game of the week. It was not a game at all. The 49ers dominating Dallas 42-10. My boy George Kittle with 3 touchdown catches. Brock Purdy with 4 touchdown throws in the game. So the 49ers and the Eagles, both now 5-0, the only 2 undefeated teams left in the National Football League.
Inland Sports.
Lock it in. KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning with my boy Patrick in the morning talking sports. So that's on Monday and Thursday morning on KCAL. Every Friday night on Riverside TV, you can check out the Friday Night Pep Rally. Scores, highlights, interviews from the city of Riverside and the surrounding areas. Join myself and Jeff Gorham again this Friday night with a ton of action as the league title races are finally heating up. Man, we're coming down the home stretch of the regular season. This past week, one of the more dramatic wins was this. Kaiser taking on Eisenhower. Eisenhower had not lost this year. Kaiser with the game-winning field goal as time expired. Kaiser won 37-35. This past week on the Friday Night Pep Rally, we had Kaiser head coach Billy Cardosi in studio with us. We had a chance to talk to him not only about that big win against Eisenhower, but now going forward into San Andreas League play. It's a 3-week sprint for the league championship, and Kaiser likes where they're at right now. They're getting better and playing pretty good football late in the season. Here's head coach Billy Cardosi.
Inland Sports.
I think it's building, ever since the prior week, our kids realized that we have to play all 11, and it was a great win against a great ACT team. Much respect to Coach Brown and all of his coaches. They're an amazing team. Eisenhower is going to do some damage, much respect. But for us, it was just really good to see some things go our way. Finally, we've had a lot of bad luck this year with injuries and things not going our way, and that happens in football sometimes. It's like life. You have to battle through it. So hoping that this, back and forth contest with just, blow, they give a blow, we give a blow, just can come back and lead to hopefully first a playoff berth and then hopefully a league championship. Actually, we are, I just wish we were a little healthier. We've been beat up all year. The turf's kind of got us, in my opinion, the turf monster, but not a non-contact leg injuries. But I think we're right where we need to be, and we got a tough Carter team coming to our place. It'll be our senior night, and hopefully we can just take that first step, get in the playoffs, and then we can reassess our goals. That's what life is. You got to set attainable goals, realistic goals. You can't just come out and say, oh, we're going to go win, this big thing. You got to, one step at a time, and our first step is to get in the playoffs. So we're hoping we can get to that.
Inland Sports.
Billy Cardosi and the Kaiser Cats will take on Carter to open up San Andreas League play this week. All right, before we wrap up this edition of the Inland Sports Show, let's take a look at our Week 7 All-Stars. We had some tough decisions to make. Man, some guys are having big games in big games, right? This late in the season, there's a lot on the line. We'll start with Aquinas running back JoJo Solis, 240 all-purpose yards and 5 touchdowns in a big road win on Saturday night at Heritage Christian. Paloma Valley quarterback Brady Nelson, nearly 300 through the air and 4 touchdowns, also ran for 86 and another touchdown. He also threw the game-winning touchdown to Jeff Blaylock as time expired to beat Vista Del Lago in what was essentially your Sun Belt League championship game, so it sure looks like Paloma Valley will go back-to-back in that league. San Gorgonio quarterback Peyton Clark, 320 passing yards and 3 touchdowns in a win against Colton. Now they got Arroyo Valley next week in a big game. The H-Train, Henry Hernandez at San Bernardino High School, 226 rushing yards, a touchdown, 6 tackles, and that dramatic win against Supa Dupa Jurupa Valley in Mountain Valley League play. The Cardinals trying to go back-to-back in the MVL. Quarterback Bryson Beaver from Vista Murrieta having a huge game, 266 and 3 touchdowns in a win against Chaparral. And finally, Amarian Orange, the wide receiver from the Rancho Verde High School, caught 178 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns, had an interception on the defensive side of the football, and helping Rancho Verde to a big win. And if Rancho Verde and Orange Vista, again, take care of their business the next 2 weeks, it'll be Zomalt versus Zomalt again for the league championship in the Ivy League. Orange Vista was the outright champ last year, and it's sure shaping up to kind of look like a similar situation this year with Orange Vista and Rancho Verde meeting in week number 10. Real quick, we mentioned Henry Hernandez and San Bernardino. Our big boost play of the week was San Bernardino and Jurupa Valley in that game. It was tied at 22, 4th down for San Bernardino. They go for it. Xavier Alvarez picks up the first down, and then Alec Hooper playing a lot for the injured Isaiah Lopez, and Cooper gets in for the touchdown. 28-22 was the final score. San Bernardino with the winning touchdown with 45 seconds left in the game. Again, we've still got several more weeks left in the regular season, but this was essentially a league title on the line, or at least league title implication. So that was a big win for San Bernardino. And as I mentioned, the Cardinals trying to go back-to-back in the Mountain Valley League. And right now on IEMG, the IE Media Group YouTube channel right here on YouTube, head over there. We've got an exclusive interview with Cardinals head coach Sean Collins. So go watch that. He's going to break down that big win against Jurupa Valley, talk about his his running game and, the wing T, variation of a wing T offense. So go check that out with Coach Collins. Big thanks to our guests, Hillcrest Softball, Melody Acevedo, Mattison Beliveau. We had Arroyo Valley Football, Bear Bachmeier from Murrieta Valley, Billy Cardosi from Kaiser. Really appreciate all of them making time for the Inland Sports Show, IEMG Sports Weekly, the Friday Night Pep Rally on Riverside TV. We got a lot going on this time of the year. We thank you for following along, and again, for all the athletes and coaches making time for us to play a part as well. My name is Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.